What up, hype beast? Now, how long has it been since you heard this voice? Coming at you today with a video not about the NBA. Now, I am going to be uploading NBA content pretty soon as the season starts back up. But this particular video is about my new favorite thing for the last couple months, and that's AEW wrestling. Okay, so this video is about Fyter Fest Night 2. Now, Fyter Fest in general, I think it's been a very, very impressive pay-per-view slash special event or whatever. Night 1 was kind of disappointing, I will say. I didn't really enjoy Night 1 that much, but Night 2 was absolute fire, right? So overall, just because of the level of Night 2, I give this pay-per-view a big thumbs up, all right? Or a special event, because it wasn't really a pay-per-view. All right, so coming out the gates, we started off with Private Party versus the champions, Kenny Omega and Hangman Page. Now, this was a real good match. I really thought at one point that Private Party was about to come out with it. Private Party has been winning a lot lately. They're probably like the highest flyers in AEW right now. They do a whole lot of crazy spots or whatever. I really thought AEW was about to give them a big push and give them the belts and have everybody else fighting to meet them. But Kenny Omega and Adam Page pulled it out with their combo finisher, last call or whatever at the end. A very surprising ending. The momentum leading to the end of the match really looked like Private Party was going to take it. Next up, we had Archer versus Janella. Now, didn't really know what to expect. Lance Archer matches are kind of difficult because most of his matches that he's had in AEW are squash matches. The only match that he's lost is against Cody Rhodes for that TNT title, but everything else he squashed basically everybody. He's a hard guy to book, man, because like he's so big. Joey Janela looked like a midget compared to him. Most of Joey Janela's offense came from high flying stuff. Lance Archer even brought Sonny Kiss to the ring and threw him at Joey Janela. It was a good spot. Like I said, I think Lance Archer is going to be kind of hard for AEW to book going forward. I'm curious to see what they're going to do with him. I honestly think after Brian Cage, I think Archer is going to be Mox's next opponent. I've read a couple things about Kenny Omega eventually taking the belt off Mox, and that none of these big guys are going to do it, but we'll see. I personally think Lance Archer is going to be the next person to take his shot at Mox. But yeah, this match was good, man. They booked this match real good. Even though Joey Janela was getting beaten, he got a lot of high flying moves off. He got a lot of offense off, considering. It was one of the closer matches that we've seen Lance Archer have. There was even a spot where Jake the Snake tried to pull out the snake, and it distracted the referee. Janela got a splash, and Sonny Kiss got a 450 splash, I think, right after. It was a good little spot. So this was a good match, though. I really, really, really enjoyed this match. So far, Fyter Fest was 2 for 2, 2 wins, 2 W's, 2 good matches. Then we had a Darby Allin segment. I like Darby Allin and all, but I haven't personally liked all these vignettes. Maybe the Tony Hawk one, but I understand they want to keep his name in your head because he's one of the guys they're counting on in the future. But I haven't been into these vignettes, though, to be honest. Next up, we got to see the FTW belt. Now, I don't know where this is going. I don't know if this is just a novelty thing. I don't know if this is going to be a legit belt for AEW going forward. I can't imagine, unless this is going to be like a hardcore belt, since it comes from ECW or whatever, from Taz's days in ECW. Maybe they're going to make this a hardcore belt, but even then, they don't really have a huge hardcore division yet. I mean, so far as Jimmy Havoc, and I guess you're gonna try to assume Brian Cage. I don't know what they're gonna do with this belt. And in my opinion, they just now got the TNT belt off the ground, and they haven't even gotten it off the ground yet because it's not finished. So they're gonna debut another belt, and this isn't the mid card. So I guess this is supposed to be above the mid card. I don't know. I don't know how this makes sense, but they brought this belt out because Mox wasn't able to defend his championship tonight like he was supposed to. I thought it was a good segment. A lot of profanity. Taz is always good for a lot of profanity on these promos, so that was cool. But yep, new belt. Curious to see what direction it's gonna go in. But so far, very good pay-per-view. Then we got this 8-man tag, Young Bucks and FTR versus the Lucha Bros and Butcher and the Blade. This is a slow burn for the Young Bucks and FTR. Really, really slow burn. I'm assuming that All In or All Out, that's when it's going to finally explode. All Out is until September, so they have to continue this slow build. This was an excellent match. The Lucha Bros never cease to amaze me. Especially Ray Phoenix. Ray Phoenix is low key like one of the best wrestler in the world. Seriously, some of the stuff he does is just jaw dropping. I personally, this whole match was really good to me, but personally, my favorite part was that Canadian Destroyer over the rope thing that he did into the group of people. That was crazy. I was just like, they're just asking for somebody to get seriously hurt. But everybody walked away from that fine. That was a crazy spot. One of the craziest spots I've seen probably ever. I've never seen nobody do a Canadian Destroyer onto a crowd of people. So that was outstanding. I absolutely love that spot. And I just love the Lucha Bros. I love watching them wrestle. I'm happy that they're finally back in the States or whatever. That Pentagon is finally back in the States. Butcher and the Blade, once again, I really like that tag team as well. They take some losses, right? But they always look strong in their losses. And then recently they're taking more wins. You know what I mean? So I really like that. And Young Bucks and FTR. FTR is obviously one of the best tag teams in the world. Young Bucks FTR is going to be that slow burn. I'm excited to see how that's going to go too. But yeah, I give this match a thumbs up too. This is a great match. It brought everybody out of their seats. I know it brought me out of the seats. They were doing a lot of wild stuff, so I absolutely loved it. Next up, we had Nyla Rose announcing that. First she had a handicap match against two women jobbers. It was actually good. I mean, I don't think I've heard of those women wrestlers or seen them wrestle before, but I found that to be a very entertaining squash match to squash two wrestlers. Made her look very dominant again. Afterwards, she mentioned that that she is gonna have a manager. She didn't even say a female manager, but I wish they would have just went ahead and brought the manager out. I don't know what they're waiting for with the manager. I'm curious as to see who it's gonna be. So that's gonna be interesting. But yeah, Nyla Rose getting a new manager, gets a win off of two wrestlers. Then we had a Big Swole segment. The Big Swole and Britt Baker thing is interesting. I'm pretty sure this is a pivot because the original storyline was going to be Britt Baker versus Chris Statlander or whatever. And I was excited for that. This was supposed to happen at this last pay-per-view, but Britt Baker had the kayfabe injury. Setting up for another pay-per-view, but I think they're turning it into Big Swole versus Britt Baker, which is great. To me, I think we're going to have a big payoff with that. Next up, we had the 6-man tag. Now, I like this match too. It probably wasn't as good as the other matches on the card, to be honest, but it was still very good. SCU, which I don't really enjoy SCU that much anymore. I don't know. Chris Daniels he just seems really old to me. I know he actually is old, but he wrestles kind of old too. Even though he was impressive because he did a beautiful moonsault in this match, but Yeah, Colt Cabana Dark Order. I really love what they're doing with the Dark Order. This Colt Cabana thing is a very, very slow burn though, and it's killing me because I'm just like, okay, just go ahead and turn Colt Cabana heel. His gimmick right now is too babyface anyway. It's way, way too jokey, way too babyface. So you knew at some point he was going to go heel anyway. I think this is fine for them to hurry up and go ahead and put him in the Dark Order. You know, he'll be a good mouthpiece for them. Um, but like I said, a slow burn is developing super slowly, and I'm wondering if the payoff is going to be worth it. You know what I mean? But yeah, because I was really, really into the storyline. I was just like, can you just join the Dark Order by now? You know what I mean? It's just been dragging. But they had a match. Colt Cabana and Dark Order actually win it. It wasn't a bad match, but it wasn't also it wasn't on the level as the rest of the pay per view, to be honest. Then we had another Britt Baker Swole segment. It was kind of funny. It wasn't a big deal. Then we had the match of the night. I know Keith Lee won both the NXT title over Adam Cole or whatever, and that's a big deal. And I didn't even get to watch that match. You know what I mean? But it's hard to believe that match could have been better than Jericho versus Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy absolutely put on a show. I actually thought he was gonna win. The in ring psychology that they did in this match was excellent. I really, really, really thought Orange Cassidy was about to pull it out, or at the very least, it was gonna end up being a draw. It was very, very great wrestled match. Just great. Orange Cassidy kept taking a lot of punishment, but kept bouncing back. And then the way he wrestles, when he bounces back in real quick burst. Like he's getting beat up, and the next thing you know, tornado DDT, flying DDT off, or diving DDT off the rope. Suicide dive, all the stuff. His offense comes in such quick bursts or whatever. It's just a joy to watch him wrestle. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I was starting to get kind of sick of the gimmick as well. But now that he's actually showing his wrestling skills or whatever, because I didn't pay attention to him before. I didn't know anything about him before AEW. But man, and there's a lot of talk about him being a draw. Like whenever he's featured, it raises the ratings. You know what I mean? Significantly. So the fact that they had him versus Jericho in the main event, and it ended up being just such a masterpiece of a match, and it even ended up going after 9 o'clock or whatever on TNT. I just loved every minute of it. This show was nearly a perfect show. Like I said, I wasn't that into the Dark Order match, and I'm a big fan of the Dark Order. But other than that, this whole pay-per-view was absolute fire. Especially night 2. Night 1 was hit or miss a little bit, but night 2 was absolutely outstanding. I'm going to be putting these reviews in twice a week, once after dark and once after Dynamite or whatever, on a weekly basis, and pay-per-views or whatever the case may be. So make sure you tune in to this channel for these AEW reviews. Once again, AEW is like one of my favorite things going right now. So yeah. For more AEW, definitely subscribe. And for more NBA content as well, definitely hit that subscribe button. All right. See you next time.